Приветушки-плюшки, я Тори, и мы продолжаем проходить Enderal. Остановились мы на разговоре с этим мужиком, который дал мне по башке, поймал моего Джеспара, и теперь что-то надо вот придумывать. Давайте с ним общаться. Какая вообще вам разница, кто что делает в этой стране? Сидите в своей стране и делайте, что хотите. Я ему совру, пошел он в жопу. Ну, конечно. Смотрите на мужика это. Ну, блин, я надеюсь, Джеспар не сказал ему правду. Ты посмотри, это развалины храма. Где же тут могут быть сокровища? Чё? Блин, там это блюдо. И в тюремный карман его не спрячешь ведь. Верните мои вещи, вы что там ковыряетесь в моих трусах? Это моя тарелочка, из нее кушаю. А, то есть меня убьют сейчас. Ну ладно. Придется, значит, правду говорить. А, прям даже так? Ладно. А где же сохранилось-то? А, ага. Вот, кстати, я не знаю, что это. Если кто-то знает, расскажите, я фиг знаю. Давайте все то же самое скажу. Бла-бла-бла, бла-бла-бла. Очень интересно мне это все. Давайте я ему совру насчет моего имени. И типа... Ну окей. Там же нет моего имени нигде, да? Ну я тебя не соврала, ты меня не должен сейчас убивать. Если ему еще и мое имя надо будет говорить правду, то ну как бы...
Then let's kill them.
No, she was honest, and I am a man of my word. And actually, you have done us a favor. We can use the plates to present Aranthiel with our offer, without putting ourselves in danger.
What? How? What are these plates?
Old artifacts of the Pyreans. Their magic works like a sort of ear conch. Sounds are transferred from one plate to the other. And I strongly suspect that at this very moment, Taelor, Aranthiel, and Neratzel's traitorous heirs are gathered around the counterpart, waiting for someone to activate this plate, aren't they? Samael, do you know how to use these plates?
Чё говорить не умеешь?
Then activate it. I will talk to old Aranthiel. Let's hope that he will listen for once in his life. Otherwise, this will end in disaster. Taelor Aranthiel. I know that
так оно беспалевно бы работало?
So why don't we just stop playing games?
Вообще незаметно.
As you wish, Grandmaster. You can keep quiet, but you should be aware of who's going to pay for your arrogance.
Haven't you had enough war by now? After 2 decades?
2 decades of war that were necessary because your god suppressed the people. Or would you deny even this?
Is that why you wanted to talk to me, Quarek? To throw around accusations?
No, that's not what I wanted. We are talking because I want to give you a chance. We know that you are fighting the High Ones, and that you're trying to reconstruct the beacon in order to stop them.
Which makes perfect sense, since the cleansing means the end of all life. Don't you agree?
Ah, no, I don't. And if you even remotely understood who the High Ones actually are,
Ты ни хрена не
what they
знаешь.
represent, you wouldn't either. They are evolution, the ascendance of humanity to a higher level.
What?
Let's just face the facts for a moment. There's no evidence that the cleansing, whatever shape it will take, will be violent. Yes, the Pyreans are gone, but how do we know they've not just simply gone to another
Идиот,
place?
идиот.
That they've transformed. The High Ones are not our enemies, Aranthiel. They are the next step of evolution, the envoys of our purpose, that we might become more than the simple-minded creatures we've been during the past millennia. This is what the cleansing actually is. Don't you understand? It's the moment when humanity is relieved of its vices, united, reaching a higher level of existence.
That's absurd.
To you, it might sound that way, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Ever since the gods departed, the High Ones have sent me dreams in which I can see the future, and it's glorious. It's not our destiny to stay human, Aranthiel. With their help, we will be gods, true gods, not the idols you have worshipped. It's the truth, whether you accept it or not.
Either. People are dying, Koarik. There's war all over Veen. The dead are rising from their graves, and people are killing each other for no apparent reason. Whatever you have dreamed, does this look like some kind of ascension to you?
I know about the red madness, but has it ever occurred to you that it follows a pattern as well? That it only befalls certain people?
Whom?
People whose thinking is in shackles. People whose minds are not free, and who are superstitious and ignorant. Such as the people in your country, to whom you have denied the truth about their gods.
What? Are you saying that the red madness only affects religious people? People who still believe in the Lightborn?
Yes. Religiosity is a pattern of thought that favors irrationality over reason. Someone who thinks in these patterns is simply not ready for the advancement, and the red madness is simply a way to sieve them out. A natural selection, if you will. That's also why you are not affected by it, Aranthiel, because you know that what you and your order fought so hard to keep up over the years were lies.
This is nonsense. There have been cases of red madness in the Order too, and we have seen what the cleansing will bring us in the dreams and in their chronicles, and it has nothing to do with some kind of ascension. Just listen to yourself, Korik. You talk like a mad prophet. Is that what you want to be?
Ah, you react just as I expected. Very well then. Will you at least hear our offer?
Speak.
The cleansing has to happen, and we, the free peoples of Nerim, will make sure that it does. We will not allow your backward thinking to keep humanity from advancing, as it has done for centuries. Therefore, if you don't want a war, you will stop rebuilding the beacon, and you will tell your people the truth about their
Согласись
gods,
наполовину.
so that then they, too, can ascend when the time has come. You've said it yourself, Aranthiel. This world has had enough war. Spare it yet another one.
I would if I could, but if these are your demands, then no.
Then we will have to force you. This means bloodshed, Aranthiel, and innocents will die, and all because...
This conversation is over.
Но он мог бы согласиться, типа, людям рассказать хотя бы. Да ты тоже идиот, нифига не понимаешь.
Prepare the attack. He asked for it.
Yes, my lord. What will happen to the prisoners?
The spies. Right. We're at war now, and this means you're my enemies. But as I said, I am a man of my word.
Вещи
So I
отдайте.
leave your fate to chance. Samael, put her to sleep, and then put her and her friend on a raft. If they survive, so be it. If not, fair enough.
Я, знаешь, ли один раз уже выжила и второй раз выживу. Чем меня не удивишь. Какая у него броня интересная. Что? А, фух. Все нормально. Что? Что? Я что, заново все начала? Нет, пожалуйста, только не говорите, что мне все сломалось. Сейчас, конечно, посмотрим, может, типа, это опять этот сон. Но если... Блин, если у меня сломалась игра, то это будет очень обидно. Да беги. Кстати, у меня не появилось задание, так что нет, все должно быть.
Well, look who's here. How are you doing, silly?
Ты
Still on
дурак,
the search?
пугаешь меня, я думала все.
Is that so? Honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But I guess you know what you're doing, don't you? You always did. Come on, let's go inside. I prepared a little surprise. Or should I say a big one? I suppose that depends on how you look at it.
Ты меня пугаешь. Кстати, я вроде реально маленькая. Да иди, я чё? Да, ну примерно. Ну давай, что за сюрприз? Это что такое?
Ta-da-da-da! Look who I dug out. It's mother and little sister. Aren't they beautiful?
Aren't we beautiful? Aren't we beautiful?
Что происходит?
But I suppose what we dead people do doesn't concern you now, does it, my child? Because you are important now. Ha! Can you believe it? She's important. She is chosen.
Chosen. Chosen.
But you know, I think you've forgotten something amidst all this ballyhoo of prophecies, cleansings, and beacons. That you are weak. You are pathetic. You are worthless. And you are weak. That's what you were back then. That's what you are now. And that's what you'll always be. Saving lives? You? Ridiculous. But then again, maybe we do you wrong. So why don't you just tell us? Why you? Why should you, of all people, be the solution to the problem? Why should you be able to prevent something that has happened to mankind for thousands of years? You! That's right. You don't know. Because you are a stupid, dirty brat. A murdering, stupid brat and nothing else. See? You did it again. You made me unhappy. You made me curse. And cursing is a sin. Don't you understand? I'm only trying to help you to see. This is not you, don't you understand? You are not yourself. And deep down inside, you know it as much as I do.
You know it. You know it.
So, tell me, silly, why is it so hard for you to just let go? Your place is here, in the realm of the dead. So just let yourself fall. It only hurts in the beginning, you know? Then it's like falling asleep. Please, my child, we miss you so much. Little sister wants to play with you again.
Play with you. Play with you.
And the two of us, we could go hunting again, like back in the old days. Find ourselves a nice deer, and then have a good, juicy
Опять ты со
piece of
своим
meat for
мясом.
dinner. But do you even listen to me? Hey, you're not supposed to leave yet. You're already here. So why don't you just stay? Please, child, stay with us. 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 Stay with us.
Какая жуть.
Hey, can you hear me? Wake up.
Ты меня спасаешь, что ли? Пипец, Джеспар, ты бы знал, что
Bad
сейчас
dreams?
было.
Anyway, it's over now. And we're lucky we woke up at all. That raft Korak put us on was about as seaworthy as a paper ship. But thank the sun, that fisherwoman over there took us in. She's headed for Duneville, and we should arrive soon. Couple of hours. That spell Korak's mute buddy put on you must have been quite a doozy. They felt the blow to the back of the head would suffice for me.
Ну да.
Guess I was the lucky one. Yeah. That guy should really go easier on the bottle, if you ask me. But it seems that the thousands who follow him see things differently. As if the High Ones alone weren't threat enough. Now they have a self-proclaimed messiah to back them up. That's just peachy. Well, as I heard it, he thinks the cleansing is evolution. We become higher beings. We ascend to a new level of existence, so to speak. And he thinks the reason for the red madness in Enderal is that people still haven't learned the truth about the death of the Lightborn. They're still superstitious, so the sickness weeds them out. Natural selection. And yeah, it sounds absurd. I guess people always see what they want to see. I'm afraid so. According to the fisherwoman, the first of Korak's battleships have already arrived near Duneville. It'll take them a while to get the rest of their fleet over here from Naran, but still. Enderal isn't ready for this. Not at all. Most guards haven't tried their weapons on anything other than training dummies, or at the most, bandits. In other words, we're screwed. Well, I guess first of all, we should be grateful we made it out alive. I bet that if Korak would have known your role in all this, we'd be as dead as doornails by now. Once we arrive in Duneville, we should get back to Ark as soon as possible. I'm sure Arenthiel and the others have already written us off as dead. I suggest you ask the fisherwoman how much farther it is to the village. Well, I suppose first of all I'll go get my pay. Regardless of what transpired, we fulfilled our mission. After that, I don't know. War is
Пошли
an
мне
entirely
помогать.
different story, and ending up beaten to a pulp with a damned warhammer certainly isn't on my priority list. Maybe. The Order might be powerful here in Enderal, but compared to Naren's army, it's a joke. And maybe... On the other hand, if we don't manage to stop the cleansing from happening, it won't make a difference if I'm here or on Calais.
Вот именно.
Oh, my, what did I get myself into? I feel like a bloody marionette in a goddamn play.
Ну, по сути, так и есть. Да пофиг.
Ouch, bad one.
Он еще
Can't say
очень
it isn't
сильно
kinda
это
cute,
ценит.
You know, there's one thing I just couldn't get out of my head since all this started. Does mankind deserve to be saved?
Конечно.
I mean, have we as a species really made this world a better place? What have we accomplished apart from bloodbaths and wars in the name of the true gods or the right way to see things? And even now that we have a common enemy, we fail spectacularly to pull together. That's pathetic somehow, isn't it? Just pathetic.
Ну, не все ведь такие.
Heck, I sound like the biggest cynic alive. Let's stop here before it gets any worse. Go talk to the fisherwoman. You're really curious, aren't you? But yes, there is something that troubles me apart from the obvious. It's my sister. Well, I told you that we haven't talked much since, you know, since the thing with our family happened. A couple of moons before we met, I wanted to change that, and I went to see her at the League of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But she was gone, just like that, and no one knew where she went. It's been troubling me for quite some time now. It's probably
Найдем,
nothing,
не
but still,
переживай.
I'm worried.
Это еще и задание было.
Huh?
Ну, это, кажется, вообще все было так внезапно, и, блин, еще то, что мне тут игра такое сказала, типа там сохранитесь, перезайдите, я вообще обделалась, думала, все. Думаю, придется мне все заново это перепроходить, искать, какой мне мод все это сломал, короче, пипял.
Ah, you're awake. How are you? No offense, but you
Конечно, мне
look
по башке
battered.
дали.
Don't thank me. I only did what every other path-abiding citizen would have done as well. Your friend, he told me about the Naramis. War. I have trouble believing it.
Война — это всегда ужасно.
Oh, how very reassuring to hear that. But I guess we're well off in Duneville. As long as they don't break through the cavern gate, there's no way they can get inside the town. Of course, that doesn't apply to the plantations and mines. Oh, blazes. Such chaos. Those bloody Naramis. Nothing is sacred to them anymore, is it? For millennia there was peace between the lands of the civilized world. And now this. They're heretics, if you ask me. No more and no less.
Да, они просто
They should be
послушали
hung from
одного идиота,
trees, all of them.
который тут себя возомнил.
Anyway, I guess it's best if you rest a little more. As I said, you look as though you need it. I'll wake you up when we arrive. Don't mention it.
So, we should be back within range of the teleport runes. I'm gonna head straight back to the temple. See you there.
У тебя волосы сломались. А нет, все нормально. Ну, я-то пешком пойду. У меня вроде бы есть, конечно, но... Слушай, ты точно просто рыбачка-то? Как-то выглядит, как-то... Все нормально. Просто выглядит как поселение этих бандосов. Ага. Ладно, пошлите тут, короче... Давайте вот это, с Кали я хочу доложить. Ну, доложим и поговорим с Кали, тогда вот так. Блин, ну это так все неожиданно. Ну, как бы с войной понятно было, что на нас болт забьют, и все равно пойдет все по одному месту. Ну, что прям вот так вот все. Я как-то, знаете, даже немножко в растерянности. Это что? А, дюны. Мне надо не в дюны. Как и далеко. Мне надо аж вот сюда. Вот сюда мне надо. Ну, если честно, я не хочу это все пешком идти, поэтому полетели. Мне кажется, или здесь была другая статуя? Здесь же была другая статуя. Разве нет?
Walk blessed.
Хотя нет, наверное. Наверное, мне кажется.
Ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the prophetess. If he just realized.
Там
My
идиот.
dams, my sirs.
О, приветики.
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
Немножко
That's a
мертв.
long story.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh, right. The beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense, and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending
Шаре
lamentations.
психанула.
That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy!
Guard your
This is
tongue,
blasphemy.
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Oranthio. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophetess, will speak to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Сейчас,
Please,
минуточку.
Tilo. Jorik is right.
Я уйду.
A war with Nerim? This is madness.
I know that it is going to be tough.
Не буду слушать. Я
The
чё-то.
sun be praised, you've made it.
Спасибо.
Constantine. He didn't deserve this. It's just not fair.
Ты нашла место, конечно.
Someone is gonna pay for it.
Да кто?
I'll see to that. I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad. I believe I'm onto something.
Да, это хорошо.
Their client is from Enderal. From Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase. And hurry. Well, why do you think? Come to the Dancing Nomad after you've spoken with Oranthio. See you there.
Ну-ка, подождите. Что за спор с Тручессой? Кто Тручесса? Это вот она? Ты Тручесса? Нет. Подожди, куда он идет? Спорить с какой-то Тручессой. Я хотела пойти дальше по не сюжетным заданиям, но тут что-то как-то больно интересно. Ой, давай иди. Тручесса, что-то знакомое, не могу вспомнить, кто это. Так, ну он, очевидно, идет на выход. Где он уже? Куда он уже? Как он так быстро? Этот восхитительный звук. Короче, видимо, надо с ним начать говорить, чтобы спорить, что там придет. Что значит занят? Он стоит, смотрит. Ладно.
Irrelevant. This madman, Koarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already. Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now, and how it can put an end to the cycle. It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence. Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. Cold and fire. Shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon. Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do. Except that the banishing will be permanent. Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the... Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Neremes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak.
Что-то про Тручесу надо было.
It's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires?
Вроде бы.
Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves. Saldrine saw himself as the god of knowledge, and accordingly he reigned his country. In Kira, no opinion is forbidden, which is why it is home to countless magic schools and universities, where people do an appealing thought if you hear it for the first time. But a cunning people isn't easy to reign. There have been more revolts and riots in Kira than bones in a graveyard, and the Red Half Moon was the worst of them. Correct. Just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them. Which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters. None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets. Rather, a moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the half-moon's bases was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered. I should have seen by then that something was wrong. Yes. But if there was one thing the Red Half Moon was good at, it was sowing lies. According to them, we were nothing but butchers who executed everyone unable to recite the Revelation word for word. That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed. No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. Have you ever been in a big battle? Even if my men would have stopped, the villagers were blinded with rage and panic. No. From the moment I gave the order, it was too late. Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village? Their distrust had turned into hatred, and nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it?
Ну, что-то я даже не знаю, чем сказать. Конечно, ему стоило сохранить спокойствие и не отдавать таких приказов, но с другой стороны... Хотя... Да, ему надо было быть спокойней.
The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again. What? Really? That's interesting.
Да, тут не догадался.
Provided this is true, that means that the emissaries aren't just people who fight the cleansing. They are people who fight for it too. And that also means that whoever granted us our powers and our purpose isn't an enemy of the High Ones, but a neutral party.
Кстати, вот эта женщина под вуалью, конечно.
I beg your pardon.
Ну, сорян, но они так сказали.
What? And the same goes for me? That's ridiculous. They wanted to deceive
Да ну что ты, ну не дуйся.
discord.
Я просто слова их
I saw
передаю.
the threat the cleansing posed before anyone else did. And without me, we would have never come that far. Something changed inside me since I fled from my prison. I feel it. And it is the same thing that made you a part of all this. Now, enough of this.
Ой, короче, ребята. Тяжело с ними со всеми общаться. Ой, ладно. Что-то столько всего. Мне даже вот нечего по этому поводу сказать тут. Ну, правда, я как-то немножко в какой-то растерянности такой от всего этого происходящего. Но мне очень нравится, мне очень интересно, что будет дальше. И я надеюсь, вам тоже. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, на группу ВКонтакте, на Тамблер. Нажимайте на колокольчик, чтобы получать уведомления о новых видео. Ставьте лайки, пишите комментарии. И всем пока.